it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another episode of the Sprue Chronicles. Today we are going to be building Astra Militarums at Commissar Yarrick. Now, if you're interested in picking up Yarrick, it's going to cost you somewhere in the region of £24. Although most places are sold out at the moment, they are expected to get some stock in the next few weeks. He's a fairly decent unit, going to cost you 150 points at the moment, although that is expected to come down in the next few weeks after he had a little bit of a nerf of his stats. Although some others are suggesting they may actually be a slight rebalance because it was such a big nerf. So what am I talking about with these nerfs? Well, there's a list for you there. You can have a read yourself. So the let's see if I can get my words out. The counter strategist trigger. Now, previously that was at the end of the enemy's turn if they were in 12 inches of Yarrick's unit. So that's himself and his unit. So he gathered an extra few inches there. However, you now cannot do that. It's now within 9 inches of Yarrick himself. Then we've got reacting unit. Any friendly regiment unit within 6 inches and visible previously has now been reduced. You must not have moved or used Overwatch this phase. Previously you could do that, you can't now. Movement option, it was a D6 move in any chosen direction. Now it has to be a D6 surge move towards the closest enemy. Obviously that is going to dramatically reduce the effectiveness of that. Shooting options, full shooting with normal ballistic skill. Now it only hits on an unmodified 6. Charging options, can declare a charge. You no longer can declare a charge. Again, that's another pretty significant buff in my opinion anyway. Decisive command, I don't really know what that is. More flexible use, more restricted, mostly command phase. And you're still going to be paying 150 points for him despite all of those nerfs. Seems a little bit unfair. I know a lot of people are now saying they're not going to have him in their army. Well, I'm still going to have him, but I do think they need to bring that points down. He does still have, however, his get back up, so first time he's killed, he can then be replaced, which is pretty good. He only gets replaced with 3 wounds, but still. Right, let's get him out. Let's get him out and get him built. I still really like the model. I'm going to still include him in my Astra Militarum army. Why wouldn't you? Be a good little centerpiece, or have him down next to one of the others. Have him alongside Ursula Creed or something like that. Right, so we've got the instructions, we've got his base. We'll get his base magnetised like we always do. We'll have that drying whilst we're building him. I'll pull all of my magnets out of my packet instead of just the one. Where's my glue? There it is, to my left. I say a quick thank you to everybody that's been watching the videos. We managed to hit a little landmark of 1,500 views across the channel, which I only started just over a month ago, so I'm delighted with that. Right, I've got my glue. I've got my Yarrick. Let's get building. Straight away I've made a mistake. Not a mistake, but I had the clippers around the wrong way. I didn't have them flush with the model. So this was one of the pre-orders that I pre-ordered, and this arrived yesterday actually, which is probably going to be a few days before this actually airs on the channel, because I do a video, or try to do a video every 3rd day. So I guess this would have arrived probably a week before this comes out. Alright, there's these legs. I don't know why, but when I pre-ordered this I was expecting the box to be a lot bigger. So what, 3 and 4 now. I love the flowing robes. It looks like so heroic, doesn't it? I guess he is probably certainly one of the, definitely in the top 3 most heroic Astra Militarum at the moment, isn't he? Surely. So that is going to get some glue on the back of that. All the way around the edges. And then I guess it wants some glue on the front of his legs. So I guess we'll put it where it's telling us. And then I guess we're putting him in there. Is there a gap for that? Yeah, there is. There's actually a little slit on the back of his butt there. We'll stick a bit of glue in there so that we can stick that on. And then we'll whack the front on. It's giving me Red Skull vibes. Now, 5 and 6. 5 looks like it's some sort of collar. Well, I don't know what that is. What is that? It's like I guess that's a mount for his head. And the collar of his jacket. What? Get off. So we're going to put a little bit of glue on that. Slot that in there. Let's not have a hair. What even is that? I keep finding black hairs in my Warhammer stuff. I do not have black hair. 6B in his head. I love that he's like shouting. He's got that monocled eye. That's awesome. That's going to be very difficult to paint though. I'll figure it out somehow. I have mentioned before I'm not the best at painting. I'm getting better. There we go, that fits nicely there. So now it wants his gun holster, so number 7. Where is it? Would have had it up the right way, wouldn't it? There it is down here on the left side of the sprue. We're going to put that on his belt by the looks of things over here. Where does that go? Just over there. Ah, there's a little slot for it to go in. We'll stick a tiny bit of glue there. And then that slots in delicately. It's got lots of little bits to him. So we want 8 and 9 now, which get glued together before we put that on. So there's 8 and then 9. Basically just 2 parts of the gun. We'll glue this part because we can keep hold of the arm, it's out of the way. Make sure I've got it around the right way there, huh? Lovely, just give that just a second to dry. We need 10 on top, which is this part. Again, it's got some really fine detail on there. It's got some sort of leafing. I don't know what they're called. Some sort of insignia anyway. Which way around does that go? Let's bring that instruction up to the eyes a little bit closer. It's like the reef is facing down by the looks of things. And that's just going to go on top like that. Let's get that instruction back on the screen. I know some of you guys like the instructions because you buy these models loose. Although I'm not really sure where you'd get a Yarrick loose right now. Like I say, they are all sold out everywhere that I know anyway. I tend to stick to 2 or 3 different suppliers, those being Wayland Games, Merlin's Miniatures, and Hobby Work. I can't remember the name of the other one. Hobby Workshop, I think it's called. But yeah, Hobby Workshop's the other one. Although I believe they're all UK based, because that's where I am. In case you hadn't told by the accent. So this gun arm is up in the air, or is it down? It's down. Down like that. Is it like that? Or is it further back? I think it's like that. And he stood slightly... Yeah, okay, right. Well, that seems to have gone on there without much need for spinning it around. It's almost like it fit directly on. Okay, we need his big claw now. My understanding is that this claw came off of an orc. He just ripped it off and put it on because he had his arm chopped off. Is that right? I may have to Google that in a little minute. If I'm remembering the story correctly, it was that he basically got his arm chopped off whilst fighting the orcs, and then just rips this off of was it a big mech or something, and put it on his own arm. What an absolute legend. Right, so we got 13 going on one side. Oh, hello. Where did that go? Oh, what's this? Where did you come from? Just get back over there. I probably should have paid attention to which side I cut off, because now I don't know what side they go. I think that goes that side. No, that doesn't go that side. What have I done? Right, okay. So the claw goes underneath like that. And then we need this one, I think, goes there. Yeah, okay. And then that one goes that side. Is that right? Make sure that's nice and flush, so it's not going to put up any resistance to putting the claws on, because it is causing a little bit of a hindrance to it. Okay, so that goes on that side. Yeah, that's better, that's smoother now. Let's get some glue on these edges. Just going to gently put that on there, and again on there. Put them on the claw. Perfect. Love that. Looks badass. Now there's another bit that goes on the top, being number 14. Goes across the top and front by the looks of it, like this. We'll stick a little bit of glue on that. That actually squashes on there quite nicely, so it doesn't actually need that much, but I want to make sure it's all solidly held. So that just goes straight on then, does it? Is it like that? I think it is. So I did do a quick little Google search there. So apparently... Oh, hello. Is that going to stick on there? Yes. Yes, it's stuck on there. Now, what was I saying? So apparently he lost his arm during the Second War for Armageddon in a brutal duel at Hades Hive. And he lost it to an Orc war boss called, and I'm going to probably batter this name, but I'm going to try anyway. Uglehard? Uglehard. Severed his right arm off with his power claw. Yarrick then killed him with his chainsword, cut off his arm, and put it on himself. Obviously didn't put it on like directly there and then with some super glue or something. He had it put on later. What an absolute badass. You cut my fucking arm off, I'm going to cut your arm off that you used to cut my arm off, and I'm going to wear your arm. I don't think it gets much more badass than that, does it? And if it does, I'd love to know. I'd love to read about a story where somebody's done something more badass than that. And I'm not talking about like a space marine, I'm talking about a human being here. I do know, there's like a, I can't remember his name, I can never remember his name. There's like a Rambo type guy who's in the Astra Militarum as well, is it? What's his name? It's like a play on words of Rambo as well, isn't it? Like Marlowe, Great Marlowe or something. Where does this sword go? Does it go? Goes next to that by the looks of it, like through there. I think I've got to glue it in there. It doesn't really look like there's anywhere to hold it. I guess I'm just gonna glue it there like that and hope for the best. I mean, it does. Oh, it fits in there nicely, to be fair. Once it's actually down, it's just a case of finding where to glue it. I think it looks like the belt's going to be the best bet. Just put a little dollop there, right next to where the kind of tassel of that belt comes down, and then just plonk that in, and then push it up so that the handle's fixed. Yeah, if you can see that. That should hold. Now we need to do his. Is that a jump pack? Oh no, it's power for the claw. Some sort of power pack. Be very careful with where we're cutting that. So that's like that, and then this part here, number 17, looks like it's some sort of mount. Now that, oh, we've got to try and figure this out now. Hello, threw it down onto my chair. I think that goes in that bit there. Yeah, that seems to be about right. So we'll stick a little bit of glue in this little side gap. It's going to be the top part of that if you're holding it by the cable, and then just slot that in there. Make sure that's in there nice and firmly. I just got glue all over my finger again. And then that's going to glue on his back. Just put a couple of little, oh, that's a lot, but there we go, never mind. I'm going to put a little bit there. And I'm going to throw that on there. I feel like that's going to connect with something, so I'm going to put a little bit on that. And then we'll stick that on his back, like, oh, okay, well, won't do that. Make sure those bits are connected where they're supposed to be connected. Bugger. That was actually connected. Ah, there we go. There we go. Don't fiddle with it too much. As long as this bit here is connected and that bit's there, it should line the rest of the pack up, really. There we go. What's this? Ah, this goes onto the side of this. Under there, apparently. Somehow. Like that. Yeah, okay. That's odd. So we need to put a bit of glue here. And where else does it connect? In there, right, okay. So a little bit there. And a bit in there. I wonder why they didn't print that in one part. I guess because that bit overlaps it and it's just the machine can't do that. It's a bit weird. Okay, well that's that. His base should be dried by now. It's not. That's what happens when you put too much on. So we're going to put him in his base then. That's what it's telling me to do. I'll put some glue on the bottom of that foot. I'll put some in the little groove where his other foot goes. We'll use that foot to guide us where the other one connects. Seems to be on those, looks like some sort of broken steps or symbol of some description. And then we will, where do we need glue? It's going to connect all the way around the outside by the looks of things. And that big bit there. So I'll just gently follow that around with my shaky hand. Oh dear. Right. Why is my hand shaky? There we go. We're going to plonk him over there and he is finito. I'm going to stick him on the rotating display so you can get a good look at him. And I'm going to go and play Diablo 2 because I've got a druid to level up. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.